Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys 3 high-level money-making methods that can make you anywhere from 7 to 10 mil per hour. So these are some really good money-making methods. Of course, there are going to be quite a few requirements since they are high-level money makers. But I really hope you guys do find a few of them helpful and you'll be able to make some money off of them. If you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more content like this. And I really hope you guys do enjoy the video. So starting off with our first method, we have killing nightmare creatures. Now there are quite a few requirements for this, including the Children of Ma quest. This is a Grandmaster quest, so it does have a lot of other prerequisite quests that you will need to have completed. So that is a pretty good requirement there. Also, 80 Slayer is required to kill nightmare creatures as well. And recommended a high magic level, preferably 90 plus. Cannon or the Oldak Coil is also helpful with this method. And then also 95 Prayer and 96 Herblore for the curses and overloads. You should be able to make around 8 mil per hour doing this method. Now, if you are on task, your GP per hour will be a bit higher, right around 9 or 10 mil per hour. Now looking at the gear setup, as you can see, you are going to want to use magic, and preferably you will want to use ancient magics as well. Blood Barrage is a really good spell to use here, since you will be able to hit multiple targets at once. Also, if you do have the Inquisitor staff, this will be really useful here. It'll go up to a tier 97 staff, so if you do have that, make sure to bring it. Also, if you have Cinderbanes, they're super helpful because nightmares are not immune to poison, so they'll allow you to deal a little bit extra damage. You can use the Vampirism Aura. It'll basically just make it so you don't need food at all. You are going to want to be praying ranged as well as using Torment for curses, but that is basically it for the magic setup. Looking at just your inventory, as you can see, we have the Enhanced Excalibur. If you do have that, that's always helpful. Bring an overload, also a bunch of prayer potions. You are going to want to bring some cannonballs and the Oldak Coil. If you don't have the Oldak Coil, you can bring a cannon. Alternatively, that does work as well. Then just bring some food and also some magic note paper because they will have a few Dragon Battle Staff drops that they will be dropping. You could use Winter Storage Scrolls instead of the magic note paper as well, if that's what you want to do. So to get to nightmare creatures, you are going to want to go to the world gate. Now you will want to redial it to the first option, which is Freneske. Now you can enter it and just choose the ritual site, which should be the last option. You will unlock this option after the Children of Ma quest. You will be teleported to the ritual site where the nightmare creatures are located. Just walk a little bit to the west and you'll see the nightmare creatures. Now, something really important about this method is the placement of your cannon or Oldak Coil. So I'm going to show you the best spot to place it. It is right where these two nightmare creatures up here spawn. So you're going to want to place it right in the middle of them so that you will always have at least one of them aggroed onto you. Now, nightmare creatures will attack with melee attacks, but they will also use a range attack, which can deal up to 4,000 damage. So that is why you are going to want to be using or praying ranged. It's because after every 5 auto attacks, they will use that range attack and it will deal a lot of damage as opposed to just blocking the melee attacks. You will also want the Vampirism Aura for this reason, since you aren't using Soul Split. That way you will be able to heal a bit of health as well, instead of just taking a lot of damage. Now also Blood Barrage will heal you a little bit as well, which is why you should use that spell. Aside from that, that is basically it for the mechanics to kill the nightmare creatures. You should be able to kill around 300 to 400 per hour, depending on your gear setups and stuff like that. But also another thing to note with the nightmare creatures is their drops. So they do drop the Nightmare Gauntlets. Now, when you are off task, the chances of getting a Nightmare Gauntlet drop is 1 in 10,000. So you're probably not going to get that. The drop is worth around 46 mil right now. But as I said, the GP per hour is a lot higher while you are on task. So if you are on task, the drop rate for those Nightmare Gauntlets are dropped to 1 in 2,000. So a 1 in 2,000 shot at getting a 46 mil drop will increase your GP per hour by about 1 mil per hour, and it will put it up from about 8 mil up to 9 mil per hour. Now, nightmare creatures, they also have a lot of other really great drops, including the Dragon Battle Staff drops. These are uncommon drops, and they sell for about 120k each. So a lot of money off of those. They also have some noted rune salvage, as well as just some random runes and arrowheads and stuff like that, which all do add up. And overall, you can make around 8 mil per hour, killing about 400 of them an hour as well. So it is a really good money-making method for high-level players. You'll get a decent bit of XP as well. They're about 7 to 800k mage XP, as well as 250,000 constitution XP per hour. Now, moving on to our next method, we have one of my personal favorites, which is killing lava strykewyrms. The requirements is only 94 Slayer, so it isn't really a super high requirement. That is all you'll need is 94 Slayer to kill them. Recommended though is overloads, curses, as well as Fury Shark, and you will definitely want an Amulet of Glory or something that will be able to teleport you in level 20 to 30 wilderness. The overloads and curses, they aren't really needed. They are definitely helpful. But you can definitely kill lava strykewyrms without them. And then also the Fury Shark, this is a really useful item to have. The lava strykewyrms actually do drop them, so while you are killing them, you will accumulate some Fury Shark. What they do is they allow you to keep an extra item in the wilderness, which is super helpful because lava strykewyrms are located in the wilderness. So this is going to be a bit of a dangerous money-making method, but it is super great. You can make 7 mil per hour. And it's just really fun killing the lava strykewyrm since all of their drops are super valuable. So this is my gear setup for lava strykewyrms. As you can see, you will want to use some pretty bad gear. You can change the gear setup as you see fit, but as you can see, I am using the noxious longbow. That is the only item that I am risking, so I can always use protect item just in case I get skulled or something like that, so I can keep the longbow. I also have a Fury Shark. Just in case I get smited or something, I will just always be able to keep that longbow. That is basically the only item I am risking. I'm just having some pretty trash gear opposed from that. I'm also bringing my Enhanced Excalibur since you can always reclaim that. It's a nice healing item. I'm bringing just a few doses of overloads because you will only need about 1 or 2 doses per trip because you won't want to stay out in the wilderness too long. Also bring some prayer potions, lots of food, as well as some Ceridome and brews just in case someone starts attacking you and you need to heal up pretty quickly. Now, as you can also see, I am bringing my wilderness sword. This is another really important item to bring. I first off use it to teleport to level 38 wilderness right next to the herb patch, which is super helpful. But also, if you do have the elite wilderness tasks completed, then the searing ashes from the lava strykewyrms will be noted. So this is super helpful because that is where you are going to be making most of your money. The searing ashes are listed at about 60k each right now. So if you do have the elite wilderness tasks done, that will save you a lot of inventory space. You won't need to bring any magic note paper to note it. But that being said, if you don't have the elite tasks completed, definitely just bring a little bit of magic note paper so that you can note those ashes. Now, as you saw, the lava strykewyrms are just a little bit to the west of the teleport location, and they are located in about level 35 and 36 wilderness, so it is a pretty risky spot, and there are PKers that come check this spot every once in a while, so you will need to pay attention for that. But you will just need to run 6 levels south, and then with your Amulet of Glory, you will be able to teleport back to Edgeville. You can also use a Luck of the Dwarves if you want to risk another item, but if you want to just play it safe, then the Amulet of Glory does work pretty well. As you can see, I am using Soul Split for the lava strykewyrms. They don't really deal too much damage. They're pretty easy to kill. They do have one mechanic where they will sort of go underground and then they'll slowly come over to you, and basically the only thing you want to do is walk away from that location, because if they do pop up where you are standing, you will take quite a bit of damage, about 3 to 4k, so definitely watch out for that. Now, other than that, the only thing you'll need to know about lava strykewyrms is that you will want to teleport back after about every 10 to 15 kills. That way you won't be risking too much loot. You'll be getting about 70 or 80k every kill, so that is pretty good money, and they also do have a chance at the Worm Spike, Heart, and Scalp. Now, these drops are extremely rare with a drop rate in 1 in 12,000, and then the drop rate is halved while you are on a Slayer task. The Worm Spike is about 9 mil, and the Scalp is 14, and the Heart is 35 mil, so if you do get one of these drops, then you will be making bank. So hopefully you do end up getting one of these. They will boost the GP per hour a little bit. But even without them, the GP per hour is insane just because the Searing Ash is listed at about 60k each right now, and you always get one of them. They also do have a chance at dropping 5 noted Searing Ashes, which is about a 300k drop, and that is an uncommon drop, so you will expect that every once in a while. But as I said, you should expect about 80k per kill. You can kill about 80 to 100 per hour, which is about 6 to about 8 mil per hour. Now moving on to our last money making method, we have making waterfiend binding contracts. The requirement for this method is 50 Slayer and 50 Summoning, also 68 Archaeology and the Dagon by Mystery, which is a mystery within the Infernal Source. Also recommended is 80 plus range because you will need to be killing water fiends for this method as well. And then you should be able to make about 10 mil per hour. So there is a few steps to this method. First off, you are going to want to be making the binding contracts. And then the second step, you are going to be killing the water fiends to essentially make the water fiend binding contracts. So the first step is to make the binding contracts. To make one binding contract, it will cost 200 spirit shards, 1 blue charm, 1 pouch, as well as 2 blood of Orcus and 2 hellfire metal. Now the total price for one of these binding contracts is about 29k to make. But also when you do turn them in to the waterfiend binding contracts, they'll be worth about 48k. So it's nearly a 20k profit for every waterfiend you will be killing. So you will want to make a lot of these binding contracts. If you can make about 500 or 600, that should last you a full hour at waterfiends. But it will take a while to make these contracts. So you will be able to make around 13 to 14 binding contracts, depending whether you're using a pack yak or a pack mammoth. You'll definitely want to make sure you make a preset for making these binding contracts that will speed up your time. And then also make sure you have something with mobile so you can use Surge more frequently. And just those useful tips like that will help you be able to make a few more binding contracts per hour. Now, once you are finished making all of the binding contracts, you will want to have them in your inventory and then head to the ancient caves where the water fiends are located. You'll want to bring some magic note paper as well, since you will be making a lot of binding contracts here and you will want to note them. Now, water fiends, they are weak to range, so that is why I did recommend 80 plus ranged. Just bring your best ranged gear. Make sure you aren't using too many degradable gear or too many charges because it isn't really worth it. Water fiends are pretty easy to kill with ranged without any super high level perks or high level gear. But basically that is it for this method. You're going to be killing water fiends for the rest of it until you turn all of those binding contracts into the water fiend binding contracts, and you will be making about 20k per kill. So 20k just off the binding contracts. They also have a few random drops that you'll be able to pick up. They aren't really super profitable, but you can just pick up things like the water orbs and stuff like that. Overall, this method is really great. As I said, you'll be able to make about 10 mil per hour doing it, which is phenomenal, and that is if you are killing about 500 water fiends per hour. So overall, this is an extremely good high-level money-making method. You can also change it up and kill Ripper Demons instead of water fiends as well, and those are also really profitable. But in terms of GP per hour, the best way to use your binding contracts is to turn them into the water fiend ones. That is because of the sheer volume of water fiends that you can kill per hour. And so anyway, guys, that is it for this video. As you guys saw, we went through nightmare creatures, which made you about 8 to 9 mil per hour, depending on if you are on task or not. Then we also looked at lava strykewyrms, which is another pretty good high-level money-making method at right around 7 mil per hour. And then also turning the binding contracts into the water fiend binding contracts. That method is about 10 mil per hour. So these are all some really good high-level money-making methods, and hopefully you guys can use them within your own account to make yourself a little bit of extra cash. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content. I really hope you guys did enjoy today's video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.